There is hardly any information on the internet. You could go ahead and type in Google, YouTube, about the Employee Retention Credit, also known as ERC, for nonprofits, for churches, and tribal businesses. So today I'm going to share with you potentially how your tax-exempt organization could get back a refundable payroll tax credit. And this is money that your business can use right away as soon as it hits your bank account. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. So you heard right. Nonprofits, churches, tax-exempt organizations, even tribal businesses qualify for the Employee Retention Credit, also known as ERC. However, many of these types of business entities are focused on serving their community. It could be your community of worshipers, maybe it's a charitable organization, maybe it's the people that live in a geographical region. So I'm going to share with you everything you need to know, but real quick, don't forget to drop a like for this video. And I also have a thriving online community, both in Discord and Facebook, so feel free to check it out. So I want to keep this concise, short, and to the point. Churches, tax-exempt organizations, you can apply for the Employee Retention Credit based on some criteria that you may not be aware of. The first one I want to say is full or partial shutdown. I want you to think of this like a government mandate test. If your church, for example, had to reschedule, restructure, shuffle around its types of services, maybe limit the number of people that could come in, then those government mandates kind of check that box. And during those business quarters, we're talking quarters 2, 3, and 4 in 2020, and then quarters 1, 2, and 3 in 2021. If you had a government mandate in place during any of those quarters, then you could qualify for this payroll tax credit. So you might be asking yourself, what type of examples should you consider? Think about if your place of worship has like a little school or like nursery daycare attached to it. Imagine having to restructure those hours or limit the capacity. Let's say you have public gatherings. You might have fundraisers, like I mentioned before, services, and you had to cancel some of those, limit some of those. All of that would be impacted and then apply to you being able to qualify for the Employee Retention Credit. Up next, let's think of this next test as the gross receipts test. For example, we have a local restaurant, casino, like entertainment plaza that's owned by a tribal business, the Seneca Nation here in upstate New York. And that was completely shut down for over a year. Think of all the workers who would be working in the restaurant, the blackjack dealers, the valets. All of those people had to basically stay home. And if your business was down in 2020, 50% or more compared to 2019, then you pass that gross receipts test and you can qualify for the Employee Retention Credit. Now, they were more generous in 2021. If your business was down only 20% compared to 2019, then again, you could qualify for those quarters in 2021. Just to kind of keep it all very concise in your mind, we're talking potentially up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. So I'll leave a link down below in the description to the free questionnaire. You can go ahead and just start typing in your information and checking the boxes that apply or do not apply. And then you can see potentially how much your school, church, tribal business, nonprofit, charitable organization could qualify for. Full disclosure, I partnered with the good folks at the ERC Specialist. They do all the analysis completely for free. If you choose to file with them, there is a fee, but I do think it's well worth it to have some specialists on your side every step of the way. Moving on, this next part gets into the nitty-gritty, but I'm sure if you're the person at your business who's actually watching this type of video, this is the stuff you're gonna love, okay? I'm not gonna lose you here. I'm not gonna throw a bunch of numbers your way, but I just want you to keep some things in mind. And all of this is in the questionnaire also. There is a little interplay between the Employee Retention Credit, ERC, and those PPP funds if your business applied for one. If you recall, PPP had actually 2 rounds, and they gave you some money that you could use 100% for payroll or at least 60% for payroll. That doesn't really matter now. what matters is that they don't want you double dipping or having those funds overlap. So simply put, when you're filling in the questionnaire, they're going to ask you about your PPP loan and when you used it. They're not going to give you money back for money that they already gave you that you used for payroll. So if you used PPP for payroll, those quarters, those weeks would be excluded from the analysis. But again, you don't necessarily even have to worry about that. That's where the processing team, they take care of all of that for you. The next thing you might be wondering is what qualifies as a W-2 employee. Now, we're talking about full-time employees here, and the IRS says that that's somebody that works 30 plus hours per week or 130 hours per month. So simply put, people take vacations. Sometimes the schedule, they're per diem, they move around. You might have people that are working in your charitable organization as something just to do good, and you want to know if they would qualify. Well, you're going to take a look at a detailed payroll report, and you can basically see if they worked more than 30 hours in a week or if they worked more than 130 hours in a month. Now, I hope I didn't lose anybody there. All that wage data, all that like PPP loan information, all of that is going to be taken care of on the processing and the analysis, but it's just something I want you to be aware of as you're gathering your documents and things like that. Speaking about gathering documents, I did a whole video on how to apply that I will leave a link down below in the description. Likewise, I did a whole video about what documents you need to gather. So if you're the type of person like me who likes to get a little organized before you sit down at the computer to sort of go through that questionnaire, you can watch those videos and then literally I'll walk you through step by step. A couple of key takeaways. There is next to zero. We're talking none. Absolutely no information out there besides maybe like pages in the IRS website that no one's reading that nonprofits, churches, and tribal organizations can apply for and qualify for the Employee Retention Credit ERC. Now, these are typically the type of businesses that serve a specific section or subsection of a community. They have like a drive and a mission, and they're looking to keep that going. These funds are funds you've already paid. This isn't a loan that has to be paid back. These are refundable payroll tax credits coming back to your business. So let me put it another way. If you don't apply and qualify for this money, then the government just keeps it. And I don't want to see that for any businesses, especially ones that have like a charitable mission at heart. So let me say this, please don't pre-qualify yourself. Despite what you heard last year, 6 months ago, the rules have changed multiple times. On my website, I have a ultimate blog post all about all the rule changes and how this applies, so feel free to check that out. I'll leave a link down below in the description. Likewise, I mentioned my Discord community, my Facebook community. Feel free to hop on there, join, and ask some questions. I'll reply to you personally, like right away, and I would love to continue the conversation there. All right, please, if you haven't already, drop a like for this video. It's going to help spread the word to the other nonprofits, churches, charitable organizations. If you're new to the channel too, please don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. All right, as always, I'm Rich, and until next time.